How to crochet small or narrow cones.
Hi, I'm Hui Pei from Pocket Yarnings, and welcome to this free masterclass on crocheting 3D shapes for amigurumi. So in these 15 bite-sized lessons, we'll go through the 3 most essential shapes that are needed to crochet amigurumi, which includes spheres, cylinders, as well as cones, and then learn how to customize them in different ways to crochet the amigurumi that you've always dreamed of. So there are a few things I want to mention. Don't forget to grab your free cheat sheet, which is the free Amigurumi Shape Building cheat sheet, which has printable patterns and a visual reference of all the shapes that we'll be going through, as well as snippets of the 3 most basic shapes, which are pretty useful. And then also, one more thing is, if you want step-by-step pictorial instructions, as well as the patterns, as well as ad-free versions of all the videos that are included in this free masterclass, then go to the link in the description to check out the full course that I have available inside a Thrive Card platform. So I think that's all that I want to mention, and please enjoy the masterclass. Even if you don't purchase the course, do remember to check out all free 15 videos on YouTube, as well as grab the free cheat sheets that you can download. So let's get started. Today we'll be making narrow and small cones, which are perfect for horns, spikes, as well as pointy tails, which is very good for accenting different parts of your amigurumi.
How to crochet small or narrow cones. So here I will be working with a sport weight yarn as well as a 3.5 mm hook. We will start off with a slip knot, like we usually do for most of the cones, and then we will move on to round 1, which involves chain 2 and then 3 single crochet stitches into the second chain from the hook, like so. So the first single crochet, and then the second single crochet, and then finally the third single crochet. Then we start working into this into the second round. So we insert hook into the start of the second round, and for round 2, continue to single crochet 3 stitches in the round. So it means single crochet in each stitch around the round. It can be a little bit tight to work into such narrow a narrow tip because there are so few stitches in the round. So remember to include a stitch marker to mark the start of the round, and then continue to work in the round. As you can see, this tutorial is meant for small and narrow cones. You can see the difficulty in working with smaller rounds. Let's move on to round 3. So for round 3, I've decided to increase all around the round for a total of 3 sets to get 6 stitches in the round. So let's replace the stitch marker at the start of the round, and then we will continue. Yep, so it's easier to keep track. And then we will continue and increase in the same stitch, like so. So you can see the tip here is rather narrow and small, and then we will move on to the next round, which is round 4, and then we will single crochet 6 stitches all around the round. So you can see that the increases in the rounds are kind of staggered in between rounds that only have single crochet stitches. So the idea is to make it narrower as well as smaller. You can see the end of round 4 over here with 6 stitches in the round, and the cone is still pretty small and still pretty narrow, which is what we want to achieve here. So for round 4, I just did single crochet all around the round. So for round 5, this time I'll be increasing. So you'll involve alternate single crochet as well as an increase for a total of 3 sets to have 9 stitches. So I've already worked the first single crochet, and then we'll do a increase in the next round by 1 single crochet, and then increase in the same stitch again for a second time, and then we will continue this all around the round. So you can see here we have worked the end of round 5 with a total of 9 stitches, and the cone is coming along nicely. So for round 6, we will continue single crochet all around the round. Like I mentioned, you notice I'm alternating between rounds that have increases and rounds that just have single crochet all around the round. You can continue to alternate, as I mentioned, between single crochet rounds as well as increased rounds until you achieve a length that you want. But for the purposes of this tutorial, this final small cone here is completed. Now for the next tutorial, I'll be making a narrow cone, not so much a small cone, but a narrow cone. So we will start off with a slip knot, similar to the previous tutorial. And then for round 1, we will chain 2 and then also single crochet 3 stitches into the second chain from hook, just like the previous tutorial. So single crochet 1 first, and then after that a second time, and then after that a third time. So this tutorial is quite similar to the previous one. It's pretty tight and we are working into smaller rounds. So it might help to have a bigger hook as well as larger yarn, but I've decided to keep to the same sport weight yarn that we were talking about. So for round 2, we single crochet 2 stitches, and then we will just increase in the last stitch. So you'll get a total of 4 stitches in the round. So this is the start of round 2. Remember to put the stitch marker at the start of the round. Okay, so we have just completed the single crochet of 2 stitches, and then for the last stitch we'll be working an increase. So remember, the stitch marker is pretty useful. We will insert the hook into the last stitch of the round, and then we will proceed to do a single crochet and then an increase. So like I mentioned, you can see that it can be a little bit difficult to work in a small round, but it can be done. So single crochet 1, and then after that an increase. So this is the end of round 2. Remember to puff out the right side outwards so that it doesn't get buried inside. So for round 3, we will single crochet 3 stitches and then followed by an increase in the last stitch. So as you can see, for this as well as the subsequent round, we are only increasing 1 stitch per round, which makes it a narrow round, or which makes the decreases very few. So here, let's start off with the start of round 3 with the first single crochet. Okay, we have just finished the three single crochet in the first part of the round, and then we will work the increase in the last stitch. So there's 1 there, and then followed by another single crochet, which makes it 5 stitches in the round. For round 4, single crochet 4 stitches, followed by increase at the end to get 6 stitches in total. So like I mentioned, you only have an increase of 1 stitch in the round, and it is the last. Generally, I placed it in the last stitch in the round so that it's easier to keep track. Okay, so this is the last single crochet of the 4 stitches. So single crochet 4, and then we will proceed to do a decrease in the last stitch of the round. So this is the first single crochet, and then the second, to get a total of 6 stitches in the round. So you can see that the cone is forming and is pretty narrow. This is the end of round 4 completed. So for round 5, single crochet 5 stitches and then increase at the end to get a total of 7 stitches. And we can continue to extend the cone downwards with just increase in 1 stitch in the last stitch of the round. So we have just completed the last increase in the round, and you can see this is the end of round 5. So you get the general idea now. So for round 6, we do single crochet 6 stitches and then an increase to get a total of 8 stitches in the round. So you can continue the similar pattern until the desired height of the cone by adding just one stitch in each round, usually in the last stitch. So you can see that the narrow cone here is completed.
Thanks so much for watching and following along with the tutorials. If you found this helpful, don't forget to grab the free Amigurumi Shape Building cheat sheets that you can get, which includes the basic patterns for the spheres, cones, and cylinders. And also don't forget to check out the full Amigurumi Shape Building course, which has step-by-step pictorial tutorials, all the patterns from this series, as well as all the ad-free videos and bonus videos inside as well. So or if not, you can just keep following along here on YouTube, where all the videos will be available for free. And have fun crocheting, and I'll see you in the next lesson.